With Christmas right around the corner and the New Year following, during the time of filming before the fiscal year examinations came, why not celebrate this holiday fiesta by reviewing this fiesta of a mech? Dynazenon here is from the anime series SSSS Dynazenon, and unlike your Gundam Ariel or Mechagodzilla, it is a mech that is composed of various machines that can combine into this ultimate machine. In doing so, let's see the individual machines. Firstly, we have Dynasoldier, which is the grunt of the litter, or the most mecha-looking machine out of the bunch. When looking closely, the mech is basic as it gets: the T-Rex-esque base, the simple body, feeble arms, the adequate legs, and the claw feet. Nothing to bring home and as simple as it gets. But an advantage Dynasoldier has is the articulation, as it is capable of a wide assortment of movement. The head is an anti-aircraft gun, as it can move freely. Shoulder is hardly lift up, but butterfly joints allow for wide movement. Arms can move freely, by 90 degrees for the elbows. Basic hand movement. Say goodbye to body movement. Superb split, 90 degrees for the knees, and diverse feet movement. Moving on. Now when looking at size, Dynasoldier isn't that big, and let's be honest here, he's a tiny boy, not even worth measuring the size. But nonetheless, here's Dynasoldier next to Gunpla, Monster Arts, Star Wars Black Series, and Figma. Now observing Dyna Team's Air Superiority Fighter, Dyna Wing, which is basically a semi-B2 Spirit. This machine, when compared to Dynasoldier, is better designed as it's composed of various parts, which allows this mech to maintain air superiority. Firstly, the wingspan is wide, overshadowing numerous terrestrial targets. We also have a blue cockpit and 2 laser cannons capable of firing highly concentrated rounds at intended targets with extra stopping power. When looking at size, Dyna Wing, as stated earlier, overshadows most figures due to his wingspan hitting different. Here's Dyna Wing next to Gunpla, Monster Arts, Star Wars Black Series, and Figma. Now moving to the Batmobile of the team.
You came back to die with your city.
Closely observing Dyna Striker, it's a sturdy boy, as the race car and tank-like aesthetics allow Striker to stand out and move freely. When looking at his size, Dyna Striker is fairly small, being overshadowed by most figures. Here's Dyna Striker next to Gunpla, Monster Arts, Star Wars Black Series, and Figma. Now looking at the de facto leader of the team, Dyna Diver. As the name suggests, Dyna Diver is a submarine with various gimmicks, in which by opening up the lid there are numerous SLBMs ready to launch.
And the missile is launching.
Dyna Diver is also equipped with an additional fin piece which is able to split and will play a bigger role down the line. Dyna Diver here is a chunky fella, as the payload can only be equipped with the extra guff. Here's Dyna Diver next to Gunpla, Monster Arts, Star Wars Black Series, and Figma. Sick of these subpar mechs? So am I. Shoehorn transformation sequence! Woo! And here's the combined form between Dynasoldier and Dyna Wing, and it's basically when Dynasoldier acquires air superiority, in which it is attached through his back, allowing Dynasoldier with the capability of flight. And it's a nice edge over Dynasoldier, in which it has wings. The second form being the combination between Dyna Soldier and Dyna Striker, and it's basically what happens when Dyna Soldier hits the gyms and grows to rip and tear. And I really like the design as it adds extra firepower at close range, making it comparable to the likes of Kong. And this is basically when Dyna Soldier engages in naval warfare and requires speed in the water, in which the right next to Dyna Soldier and Wing is basic as it gets. Nothing special to brag here. And here's the glory that is Dyna Zenon. If you thought the previous mechs were mid, this baby here's the reason why each individual mech previously were broke and bent in order to form Dyna Zenon. And what can I say? Details are superb with the intricate details and impressive paint job with stickers that adds up to a model kit that can rival the high grade kits. Talking about Gunpla, the Moderoid Dyna Zenon transformation wise is leagues better than the DX version of Dyna Zenon, as everything fits smoothly with any excess pods being entirely removed, and even better than Bandai's latest combining mech, resulting in my opinion the best transforming mech I've laid my hands on. When it comes to accessories, it's more or less identical with the DX set, which it is decent to say the least. Dyna Zenon comes with a various assortment of hands. Besides your basic hands that come with Dyna Striker, there's your fists for dirty moves on Titans, grabbing hands for full-on sexual harassment, and chopping hands for neck slice! You also have two green blade effects that can be attached to chopping hands and used to maximize close quarter firepower in order to combat the likes of Godzilla and other mechs. And looking closely, they're adequate enough as the shape is there, but it lacks the shiny paint job as seen in Gunpla or even the DX version of Dyna Zenon. When it comes to size, the Moderoid iteration of Dyna Zenon, while nowhere huge as the DX set, is still a big boy when compared to other 6-inch figures, outsizing most. Dyna Zenon here is around 18.5 centimeters or 7 inches. Here's Dyna Zenon next to Gunpla, Monster Arts, Star Wars Black Series, and Figma. Regarding articulation, Dyna Zenon being the culmination of all the different mechs alongside possessing a bulky frame compared to other mechs, which implies the range of movement the kit is capable of. The head, even with the helmet, can move freely thanks to the neck. Arms can hardly lift up, elbows range is limited to 90 degrees, a 90 degrees bend for the lower arm, and basic hand movement. This can hardly be called movement. Split is double bending knees, allowing for them to bend to a range of 180 degrees, and diverse feet movement. And in conclusion, wait, what? There's another form? And this is what you call a kaiju, as Dinorex here is the Tyrannosaurus variant of the Dynazenon team and is used for maximum ferocity when the target is too offensive that it requires an equally offensive and brutal form to take on. And while my favorite form is still Dynazenon, Dinorex also packs a punch, as the T-Rex head just oozes that ferocity that was unseen in previous forms. Dinosoldier's legs are utilized as arms, resulting in extra scratching power. Dino Wings' main components are stretched to a maximum limit, which allows Dinorex to fly. Just like Dynazenon, Dinorex uses Dinodiver as his legs, making a thick go. And the entirety of Dino Striker is used as a tail, showing the extent and size of Dinorex. Talking about size, just like Dynazenon, Dinorex here is a big boy, resulting in him oversizing most of my figures and rivaling the likes of the Monster Hearts line. Dynazenon here is roughly 17 centimeters tall or 6.7 inches. Here's Dinorex next to Gunpla, Monster Hearts, Star Wars Black Series, and Figma. When regarding the Dino's articulation, one might suspect that as a Good Smile Company product whom are renowned for their articulation, the same standards should apply to Rexy here, right?
You're chatting out of your ass, bro!
This fella here is your run-of-the-mill kaiju figure in which posability is limited and only there for the bare necessity. The head can move only up and down, the jaw movement is decent, arm movement is pretty good, the elbows can bend 90 degrees, very rigid hand movement, decent claw movement, decent wing movement, the end of the wings can move only side to side, limited leg movement, double-sided knee movement to an extent of almost 180 degrees, very rigid feet movement. Toe movement can move up and down, and left and right for the individual toes. In conclusion, the Monoroid version of Dynazenon is an impressive kit as it perfectly recreates the combination within the combining mech, foregoing the unnecessary complex messes found in the DX set, while still maintaining the solid build of the frame, making it a great kit to both build and play with. This form alone validates the kit, and I would recommend purchasing this guy, and I'm gonna give him a ranking of B+.